Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. You are welcome guys. I just want to come out here and just talk, ramble, chat. I've been taking a break, as you know, from like my surgery, but I see a lot of things going on. I see most of it. I'm just resting. It doesn't mean that I'm not going on my phone or checking what is going on, but I saw this story of this particular lady that was like reliving what happened to her in kidnappers den in Oyo State. And if you don't know, that is my state. I'm from Oyo State in Nigeria. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. If this is your first time, you are welcome to the happy family. If you've been watching but you're still contemplating whether you should subscribe or not, what are you waiting for? Please click the subscribe button down below and turn on the notification bell so that you can get notified whenever I upload a video. I saw the story. I'm going to read it to you, and at the same time I'm just going to talk a little bit with what has been going on in Nigeria, around the globe, and Nigeria especially. So this lady is called Oyetosho Mutupeola. This lady said that I was kidnapped by Fulani men on my way from the farm, and my fiancé who was driving the car was shot, and I regained my freedom after my parents paid the ransom. So they actually paid the ransom. After the incidents, I withdrew into a shell and just wanted to be left alone. PTSD, post-traumatic depression. I got tired of everyone asking to know how it happened. It was painful and traumatic, having to relive the experience each time I talk about it. I heard two people had been abducted again, one from the same town and another from a neighboring town. Interestingly, even I was expecting to hear about it on the news and learn what the government had done about it. Alas, there was only silence, just as I have been silent. I'm hypervigilant with a profound fear of being kidnapped again. Spotting people dressed similar to the kidnappers has been a trigger releasing flashback. That sense of safety was broken, and the lack of control in captivity shattered my self-confidence. Out of the blues, I relieved the shooting, D threats, despair, helplessness, and some other ordeal the kidnapping forced upon me. My family and friends endured longest 2 days of their lives, waiting, hoping, and praying for my safe return. My mom was distraught and even thought didn't see his tears. I know my dad was crying inside. It is one of the worst experiences a parent could face, so you will understand why people are silent about it. The trauma is not something you want to remember. You wish it didn't happen, and you try to feel it away somewhere deep in the recess of your memory. But I realize the silence is keeping us under their oppression. I ask myself, is the Oyo State government aware? Because this is such a lonely experience, and one that many of us hide. We often go through it alone. But all this work in favor of the kidnappers. Many farmers have abandoned their thriving farms, and those who are still there are constantly living in fear, unable to trust people around them, wondering if they be the next victim. Our story needs to come out because there's so much that isn't said about kidnapping, so much that I didn't know until I lived it. And if speaking out will make the government take necessary actions to ensure this incessant kidnapping, if this will prevent one person from going through this harrowing experience, then hopefully it was worth it. A frightening amount of money is regularly changing hands, according to the anti-kidnapping unit of police headquarters Eleyele, Ibadan. Once arrested, the kidnappers have enough money to get very good lawyers and are released back into the system. Did you hear that? Unless and until something is done, the enabling environment ensures kidnapping will only continue and get worse. Food security is already in danger, with people abandoning their farm and many who would have ventured into agribusiness being scared away. If making noise is the only way we can get their attention so they can beef up security in the state, then make noise I will. I keep reminding myself how lucky I am. Far too many abductions end in tragedy. Through God's grace alone, I made it home safe and sound. I've realized I may not get over the trauma, or maybe I will. Only time will tell. But I know I have to move on with it. So, guys, when I read this, my heart breaks for this lady, and at the same time, my heart breaks because this kind of news is what I want to see on all these, big blogs like Insta blogs, like all of these big blogs. This is what I want to see. This is what I want to read about. But I think this was just on Gist Lovers blog, I believe. The other blogs are not talking about it. Maybe it's just a minor small state, but that was my first thought. Then later I thought to myself, why am I bothering myself? Even when Boko Haram are being released back into the system, into the society, how many of these blogs are talking about it? We talk about it a little bit, then we move on from it and go back to talking about Big Brother Niger. One thing I know is that there is a lot of distractions going on around the world. Social media is a tool given to us. Is good and is bad, is a curse and is a blessing. I've seen so many people became something simply being on social media, and I've seen some people reduced to nothing, and even some have committed S simply because of being on social media. So that's why I said it's a curse and it's a blessing. It's a blessing in the sense that you can get your voice out there without going to a newspaper that published my story. A lot of people doesn't even read news anymore. And when I saw this, aside from the thought that came to my mind that where is the government? This guy is requesting that where is your state government? And true, where are they? I learned there is Amotekun. They created Amotekun. Isn't Amotekun created so that they can help this kind of situation? They can help people from all these headsmen or Fulani or whatever they are, bringing their cattle to graze, and this kidnapping is going on. Because the last time I remember, someone was saying that it wasn't the Fulani people that were doing this, it was some people else. And you hear where this girl said that even if they arrest them, there is one way or the other that they will have a good lawyer. How is somebody like that? How do they afford all this lawyer? So we should know there is a power, there is a force behind them. All of these Fulani people now doing all of this in southeast, south, it's not normal to me, seriously. And especially, you remember when they were talking about Ruga, I think it's last year or 2 years ago, and they were talking about Ruga, that people should give up their land for grazing, for all of these. And in East, a lot of people, there was a video I saw whereby cow even took over the old town, and the cars cannot even move. They've not even done the Ruga. The Ruga has already been done without publicizing it that it's been done. If not, I saw a video on YouTube the other day of these people. They were trooping in. We don't know where they are coming from. They are sandwiched inside a trailer, like loads of them. These Alimajiris, people from Buhari side. Why these people are trooping and rushing to, moving southeast? Why they are doing that, I don't know. Maybe it's something, an agenda that is going on. And if you are new on my channel, you should know I've said this several times. I don't bring my conspiracy here, but I'm a conspiracy theorist. I talk about conspiracy a lot. When you think about a lot of things, you become a conspiracy theorist, because something that is not real, you just thought in your mind. But at the end of the day, a lot of things that I've been thinking and people were calling me conspiracy theorists around March, April, when this COVID-19 first came and the situation of 5G, a lot of people were calling me, oh, you are a conspiracy theorist. Some of it are coming to pass now. So what do you say about that? Sometimes not all conspiracies are just a mere conspiracies or just a mere gossip. Sometimes it's something that is to come. Sometimes it's something that you foresee and it's going to happen. I said it that time. I know when these people make up their mind to do something, they will do it, because the way this spokesperson of that Miyetti Allah or whatever it's called was saying it as if they don't allow us to come, we will not allow them to stay in the north as well. You know, a lot is going on, but I just hope your state government can just rise up, and you know, especially the Amotekun they created, can rise up and, you know, tackle this thing before it becomes really big. Yoruba will say, "Àti kékeré náà tí ń pẹ̀ka ìrókò, tó bá dàgbà tán ẹbọ ńlá ló ń gbà." You know, it's when something is still minute, you can contain it, but when it becomes a pandemic, it's very hard to contain. Let me use that word. When it becomes a pandemic, it's really hard to contain. And I think this is where this kidnapping situation is going. The country is bad enough that a lot of people were suffering. Governments were increasing taxes. They are putting stamp duty on everything. You know, more or less like the riches just want to drain out the entire purse of the poor. They just want to make the poor to be poorer and this rich to be richer. It baffles me, you know, but I don't want to so much dwell on this thing. I have so much going on in my life already than to be stressing and dwelling on this Nigerian situation. But I just can't look away the way I always look away with every situation with this thing, especially being from Oyo State. And the way this guy is saying, a lot of people are running away from their farm simply because these kidnappers will not let them rest, simply because they are scared for their life. Look at a fiancé that was shot, and that is the end for him. So who is arresting who? Who is asking question? These people will just do anything and get away with it. Nigerians seems so lawless to the extent that ordinary person that have a rich man or some rich politician behind them, they do anything and they get away with it. Because think about it, where does these people get this AK-47 that they are using? A cattle rearer, somebody that is, you know, taking cows around, have the AK-47. How do they afford it? Anyway, guys, I don't want to go too deep into this Nigerian shit hole thing. Is a lot. It's a lot to take in. But it bothers me so much why they cannot use their money to, you know, put their money to good use and make it changes a good life for citizens. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave you here. Let's continue the discussion. You know, let the discussion keep going. I will be there to be answering your question. On your way out, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, share if you like it. If you haven't, please hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. And if you have anything you want me to talk about, like I always say, you can find me on my Instagram. You can ask people that have messaged me. If you DM me 24 hours, I will answer you. So DM it to me in my DM on Instagram, and I will endeavor to respond as quick as possible. So I will see you in the next one. Bye.